Hello, everybody, and welcome to Sunday night with our 50 in 50 challenge. Super excited you guys are all here and you made it. I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. And if you did not get a chance to listen to David's Zoom on Friday, you absolutely, positively must listen to that. He gave an outline for us on how to get to regional vice president, making $100,000 a year by the end of next year. So anyways, today what we were going to do is just kind of go over, where everybody is. I know David issued a challenge for everyone to get to 5 pharmacy customers by this evening. And I know I will be the first to admit I was not able to accomplish that goal. I've got several people that are looking at it, but they had to go and check their medications to see if they were on the list and also figure out how much they're paying for it. But I had those conversations, so I was moving towards my goal. But anyways, well, Ellen, did you have anything that you wanted to say before we get started with talking to different people?
No, well, yeah. Thanks for being here. Sunday night, last minute notice on this. I couldn't commit to a schedule because I have a crazy schedule with my limousine business. Either people are leaving town from being here with their families or they're coming back into town from being on vacation. So my business is just all over the place. But yeah, thank you for being here. We do want to see what your stories are. I like Harlequin. I didn't get my 5 customers either. And I'll admit that I did get 2. I'm 3 short, and simply because I've either been on the road or I've had somebody in the car with me and I haven't been in a prime position to talk to folks like I normally do. And I certainly am not texting and driving, but we want to hear what your stories are, whether you had 1 customer, 5 customers, 5 conversations, where we're going with that. So thanks for everybody being on the phone. We've got a hand raised here with iPhone. I'm going to go ahead and ask you to unmute. What do you have for us?
Good evening, everyone. This is Barbara. And
hey, Barbara.
I hope everyone had a happy Thanksgiving and a safe one. Yes. I have, I'm sharing, I have the potential of 3, 1 prospect I have come across, and I think everyone should be aware of this if they are not, and if it has not been shared. I had conversation with you all earlier on, and the drug that we were looking for is Olympic. And I believe the owner's son discussed that also. However, when the patient went forward with the information that was needed, they sent her to patient assistance, and patient assistance went through and did their thorough research. They came back with the amount of the drug being double what our local pharmacies would charge. So needless to say, the client was devastated. So she does have insurance, but it was a matter of the timing and how long the drug could be administered under that policy. So she's contemplating, still looking into being with our RX. And I just wanted to know if anyone else had run across that. And if not, you might want to be aware. Any comments?
Wow, said, that's interesting.
Yeah, said it was Ozempic.
Yes.
Which is the diabetes medication that people are using for weight loss.
For weight loss. And the doctor has prescribed it for weight loss. And she shared it with her primary care physician, and she is in a managed care. However, her insurance was paying for it as long as she was still in term, but she had gone past the limit annually. So she has technically another month that she's without it, because she's been told that by patient assistant and the pharmacy, it's half that amount that she was told from patient assistance, and it's still not affordable.
Well, I would say go with what the pharmacy is giving her. I know this isn't going to be a solution for 100% of drugs. You know, we say 90% of the drugs that are prescribed they're going to save money with our platform. And unfortunately, Ozempic and two others that are specifically being written for weight loss that are other diabetic drugs, they're not covered. They're brand new drugs. They work and they're using them for weight loss. I know I went through with our healthcare and had a call with Jake, and we specifically had that question come up because one of my clients is a medical practice and they use those drugs in their practice. Some of their employees were asking, and Jake said, we cover Ozempic if it's a diabetes medicine, but if it's written for weight loss, it's not covered. So that's the direction that the pharmaceutical companies are deciding to go. So it's unfortunate, but thank you for sharing that story on that particular case.
Well, thank you. But obviously no one else has come up with that yet.
Not
Something
yet.
like,
Not that I'm aware of.
Let me
Okay.
ask you, it's more expensive than what she's paying with her being on insurance currently?
correct. And even though it's 1
Okay.
month out, it is still more expensive than she can afford with the local pharmacy.
Yeah, that is an extremely expensive drug.
It is.
It is not a generic, which, you know, our drug plan is set up mostly for generic drugs. So, but you know, it's chances. Do you know what the pricing was that she was quoted?
Yes, $400 and some change.
Actually, I believe that's one that normally costs a whole lot more than that.
About 1,200 and something.
Yeah. So that is a significant discount versus.
It is. Well, actually, the pharmacy was less, though. I'm sorry to cut across you, but the pharmacy was 212.
Then I would go with that one all day long.
too.
Yeah, sometimes if the pharmacy will give you a cash price versus a discounted price, I started to share it in the group. This was a video that Cherry shared with me via email, and it was and I didn't know the total value of it or how old it was, but it appeared to be a pharmacist being interviewed, and the pharmacist said, do you know there's a gag order on me that if someone presents an insurance card and we have a drug that if they were paying cash for, they could get it cheaper than they could get it through the insurance. But there's a gag order that if they provide me with an insurance card, that's the price I have to charge them, even though it may be more than if they just ask for the cash price. So I know there's a lot of shenanigans that go on in pharmacy. Some states have removed that law. I know Georgia is one of those. Our governor signed off on a law that took away that gag order, so pharmacists can tell the client if there's a cheaper price rather than using their existing insurance card. But that's why we are needed so much, because we have such a valuable product for the majority of people, with the 90% of the prescriptions that are going to be written. So thanks for your story on that. Any questions before we go on and open up for anybody else that wants to share interactions that they've had talking to people?
No, not with I may have to jump off. I have another meeting that's scheduled
Awesome.
too.
Yeah, and
Thank
we're
you.
wanting to keep this real short tonight. So
Okay.
just give an opportunity for people to say, okay,
Thank
who
you.
has had conversations? Let's see some stuff in the chat there, or raise your hands if you've had conversations with people and you've started moving forward, asking the question, hey, what are you guys doing with healthcare? Either that, or are you and your family spending more than $20 a month on prescription drugs out of pocket? Right? Those are the opening questions. And I was thinking about it today, even the healthcare question. I still like leading with that because it gets the conversation talking about healthcare and everything. And it may lead to a conversation about well, they're covered, or they've got a plan, or they just renewed, or whatever. And you can go into, well, that's great. If you guys are ever open to getting a quote, we've got a phenomenal program that's a lot cheaper than most big insurance carriers. But let me ask you another question. You guys have got your insurance covered. How about your prescription drugs? Do you guys have to pay out of pocket anything on prescription drugs each month if you're taking those? And then you can kind of transition from health insurance over to the RX program. I don't want to leave a stone unturned, and I don't want to just ask about prescription drugs and ask are you spending more than $20 a month on prescription drugs, and then walking away from the conversation. I'd rather it be a full healthcare conversation personally, be able to ask those questions. I've got a comment here. Taka, I've been contacting warm market and semi-warm market. I got answers like this: I have great insurance plan, or I get free prescriptions. That's great. You're going to run across that. And that's where, don't let just a few conversations shut you down going, oh, there's not a need here. Because guys, the conversations I've had have been just the opposite. I told you, I've got 2 people now that we did a quote for 5 different drugs that another one of my immediate family members is on. All 5 of them are costing, he spends almost $100 a month on prescriptions for 5 drugs. All 5 of them are free under our RX plan. So he's one of the customers that I referred to. So that's immediately going to save him money. So don't let a few conversations saying, hey, I have great insurance plan, or I'm not spending money out of pocket. And guess what? If you're talking to somebody that's generally healthy, they're probably going to say, I'm not spending money out of pocket because they're not on prescription medications, right? But if you keep asking or position the question, if it doesn't impact them, say, well, can you think of anybody that you've heard talking about having to spend money out of pocket? We've got a phenomenal program that's groundbreaking, and I'm wanting to get the word out so that we can help our community. Something on those lines. All right, Harlequin, you got any questions for everybody? Comments?
Well, talking about that, I've had several people who have said that they're spending quite a bit of money on the prescriptions. So we're in the process of figuring out if they're on the list, or if they're not on the list, what would the cost be? If it's one of the ones that they have to go to the pharmacy to pick it up. But no, mostly tonight I just wanted to hear from people, and I know somebody else has got to have a story out there. Although I see iPhone, or Barbara, I think it was, has her hand raised again. If you want to go ahead, go ahead.
Thank you, Harlequin. I just wanted to add to that with what Ellen has said. One of the other pitches I use when they come across the same that you said in reference to great healthcare, great pharmacy plan, they take supplements. If they take vitamins, I add that to it because I checked on those, and some of those are better than half of what you normally would pay on the regular counter shelf. So I just like to say, throw that in there also as part of your pitch.
Yeah, absolutely. The over-the-counter nutritionals and over-the-counter ibuprofen and all that. There's a great flyer on the website. I'm going to go look for that real quick and show you where to pull that up if you haven't already found it.
Great, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And while Ellen is doing that, if you guys can go and just put in either in the chat or whatever, let us know how many people you were able to talk to and how many people you've been able to get to sign up. You can go and put it in the chat to either Ellen or myself, and just so we get a feel for where people are, so we know how to help you. And is there some additional information that you guys need from us to help you? What is the challenge that you're running into? whenever you're talking to people, or are you having challenges just talking to people in general? And I'm not seeing anybody.
Anybody? Y'all came on here, not
Crickets.
just
Okay,
listen to us talk.
Brian and Maurice have their hands up. Brian, go ahead.
Like I put in the chat, I haven't had any success signing anybody up on it yet, but I've gotten 3 new agents out of it just from talking to people. And one of the things I've run into is, well, I've been using the same pharmacy for 30 years. You know, I don't really want to change. I don't want to change pharmacies. So that's the main thing that I've been running into on it.
Are they they can still use that pharmacy for the critical therapy, the antibiotics and the short-term medications. It's just the long-term ones that they would have mailed to them.
I probably honestly didn't explain it well enough.
Okay.
That's fair.
Okay. Any other questions, Brian? Yeah, I see you muted yourself. Okay, not a problem. Okay,
No more.
Maurice is next.
Hey, how's everyone doing today?
Doing good. We can just barely see you. I can see that there's a face there.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm right now on the road and everything. We just got back from a little Thanksgiving dinner, just ending that all out and everything. We're currently in the car right now. But my question is, and everything, I have been trying to slay this on many different fronts, whether it's from email marketing, phone calling, etc. How do you, or where are you guys finding these particular clients? This health share is new for me. I'm still getting the information and so forth, to be able to talk a little bit better. But how would you, go about that and everything when you aren't really seeing too much success, but you got to keep going?
Maurice, I'm so proud of you. I was telling Harlequin earlier today, we were talking about a post you had made, I think, and I said, I want Maurice to win more than anybody in the team because of your tenacity. Guys, I say that to Mo because he's gone through some major health challenges over the past year and a half, and he just keeps overcoming and keeps moving forward. So in answer to your question, everybody that I'm talking to are people that I know. Warm market. I start with friends, family, acquaintances, people that I've met through networking. I'm not relying on just social media posts. I'm not relying on advertising outwardly, although I have received some contact from people that have seen my social media posts, but they're people that know me personally, and they're not just people that have opted in to be my friend on Facebook. These are people that I really know. So when they see me do a live or a post about healthcare or the RX program, they're reaching out to me, sending me private message. Hey, Ellen, I saw this, I saw that. Can I talk to you? Here's my number. And they're asking me to call them. So that's what I encourage you to do, is talk to people that you know, and don't take that, it's a process. Here's the thing. If you're having conversations and you're running across people that don't need what we have, they don't want to move away from their local pharmacy, like you said, Brian, I understand that. I'm all about promoting buying local and using a local pharmacy. In fact, I talked to my brother. I know he's big on supporting a local pharmacy, and he made a comment that the pharmacist that was there is no longer working in the shop. And he said, I was doing business with them to support them. He said, but he's not in there anymore. So I don't mind pulling my meds away from there. He said, plus they're one of the most expensive pharmacies in town. They don't discount anything, but I've been doing business with them all these years just to support their business. So just have the conversation going. But here's the point on that. If you talk to 20 people that don't have a need for what we offer, and you at least get the conversation started, you've had 20 conversations of experience where you're learning what to say and you're learning how to navigate through that. And don't just take them saying, oh, I don't need it. Ask some more questions. Ask more questions that open up the conversation in general. And it's okay for you to say, if it's somebody that is you're close to, it's okay for you to say, hey, we just started doing this. I'm new and I'm trying to get a feel for what to say. Do you mind if I ask you a few more questions? And just be open and honest about it. But the more you talk about it, the more conversations you have, the easier it is going to get. Plus, the more conversations you have, the more your opportunity is to run across those people who really do need what we have. I like talking in front of a group. If there's several people together, I like being able to get a conversation started with one person, knowing that others are listening. And I did that at Thanksgiving, actually. Ask a question, and then 2 or 3 other people at the table started chiming in on that. And it became kind of a chain conversation that piqued everybody's interest. So that's what I would encourage you to do. Just keep talking, start with your warm market, and then ask for referrals. If your warm market does not need what we have, say, well, hey, we've just launched a phenomenal program. I know it's going to make a huge difference in a lot of people's financial situation, where we can help them save money on their prescription meds. So if you run across anybody that you hear them talking about the high cost of their medications, send them my way, because our program most likely can help them. We've got 90% of the prescription drugs for free for people that are part of our membership. Does that help? Anything else with that, Harlequin?
Oh yeah, that most definitely helps and everything. I
Awesome.
thank you so much for your wisdom, Ellen. You are so gracious for everything that you do, and thank you.
You bet. Thank you for the question. Hey, you guys drive safely, okay? Hope you make it
All
home okay.
day.
Yeah.
All day.
Maurice, the other thing I would suggest to you is when you go on your doctor appointments, talk to the other people in the waiting room.
Huh. Find out. Yeah. That
Yeah.
yeah. I didn't even think about that, but yeah.
Make
I promise
some
you,
new
y'all are great.
friends. You've got something in common with them. So
Yeah.
Good stuff.
All right. All day. Thank you, y'all.
Man,
you're
that
going
was
to
a
be successful,
golden nugget.
Maurice.
All right. And Barbara, you got your hand back up?
No, I didn't put it down or nothing. Yeah. Trying to
No,
figure out how to
Barbara. I think iPhone, Barbara, that again. No. Okay. Brian, ask you to unmute.
Hey, yeah, I actually work part-time with a company that takes people to their doctor's appointments. And a lot of them, a lot of them are on Medicaid and stuff like that, but they're gonna know people that aren't. So
That's right.
I need to start opening my mouth when I'm driving.
Well, even people on Medicaid are eligible for this because Medicaid doesn't cover everything.
Yeah, I need to just start asking them if they have any medicines they have to pay for or something like that.
Yeah. Just, hey, are you having to pay out of pocket for prescriptions each month? Are you having to pay over $20 a month out of pocket for prescriptions each month? $20 is the talking point, right? If it's under 20, then we're not going to be a good value for them, unless they're going to do like Barbara said and want to take advantage of the over-the-counter meds. Speaking of, let me show you where I found that. Okay, I'm going to do share screen real quick. And I'm just on our RX page. If you go down to the bottom, there are links down here, and you've got over-the-counter medications. If you click on that, it says view our full formulary. And when you click on that, it pulls up not only the prescription drugs, which is page 1, 2, 3, but the 4th page I'm sorry, the last page shows your over-the-counter formularies. Showing you acetaminophen, your vitamins, calcium, all the different aspirins, et cetera, and what the price points are. So there's where that is on your full formulary, directly off of the website. Okay.
Thank you. I found that, and that's how I was able to help several of the other individuals. And I just wanted to say one other thing. Thank you. One other, the young man that was talking about his experience in the doctor's office. If he has formed a relationship with his physician, he and the assistant or secretary, he might ask them if he can put something up regarding our RX. I don't think that is anything that would be unethical. He could ask that, and that would help him with everyone that comes in. That would be a great resource.
Yeah, he and I had
Absolutely.
already spoken about that. That's why.
Oh, okay.
But you're exactly right. That is something that he is definitely planning on doing.
Great.
And
Glad
DAC,
to hear.
yeah, and DAC is creating some marketing materials specific for that. So that you have some leave behinds, a brochure that can be left and create a QR code. So if the doctor's office or dental office or whatever professional practice is open to you displaying your information, then there'll be a marketing tool directed for that particular office type. So yeah, and we should see that this week. David said we're going to do the facelift on the BizOp page. If you guys didn't hear that Friday, we're going to be shifting the business opportunity. Instead of just leading with funding and business services like we have, we're going to flip it so that we're leading more with consumer services to make it more attractive for the masses to get started as an agent. And we know from previous experience with other companies, the more you do recruiting numbers wise, the more new customers you're going to bring on, because you've got more new people that are excited, more new people that are talking about what we have to offer. And those conversations with the consumer services on healthcare and the RX are going to naturally lead to people saying, oh, I can market funding and I can make 4% off of whatever the client gets. You mean I can get a check with a comma in it for talking to somebody about business services? You're going to find the people that will actually have those conversations. So it's going to be a win-win, but they'll have the marketing materials and the facelift on the website. I'm hoping all of that will be kind of wrapped up this week to where we'll see some major changes in what we have to put forward. We've got somebody else with the phone number starting with 586. I'm going to ask you to unmute. There you are.
Hi, Harlequin. Hi, Ellen. How are you?
Hi, good. Who are we speaking with?
Good. This is Pam. So I had some experiences before with the cards where I just go like right to pharmacies and ask them if they're familiar with it. And if they're not, may I speak to somebody, in charge? And then I just go right to, whoever's in charge and ask them if they're, would consider, like, you're going to be having marketing things, and then just ask them, could I leave this here? And it would be right there available. So that's where I would start when you start getting those marketing tools, to just go right to the pharmacies and to the professionals, because so many people, like regular people like you and me that are not, like maybe they're not business owners. Okay. So they're not thinking about that, but they're already used to doing things a certain way. And if you have to change things, it's very difficult. So when you have it there at the pay point, at the register, whatever, they pick it up, they're waiting for their order and they see it. And that might be something that they would read and be interested in.
Absolutely.
Well,
Thank you for
the
that.
only problem with that is we're circumventing the pharmacies with all of the long-term medications, because people are no longer going to be buying it from the pharmacy. So it's a conflict of interest for them.
Well, if I may,
Mm-hmm.
So when I went to one of the big banks, when we had the business cards, when we first came out with Bank Breezy and all those, I went right to the, checkout guy, and I said, "Is the manager here? The bank manager?"
That's
And
a
they said, "Well,"
different situation though.
Let her finish though. I'm interested in what she's got going there.
and so, well, the guy came back and he said he was with someone. I said, "Okay, well, I would just like to see if you feel like this is something that the bank would be interested in." And they said, "Okay, let me take a look at it." I said, "Sometimes you guys don't offer a lot to, smaller business people, and they may not have a greater need, like you want to lend a large amount. I just wondered if you would think this might be a legit company." And these were our cards. Okay, this is my DAC card. And he came back and he says, "Do you know we're the World Bank?" I said, "Okay, I want to know how you feel about it." So, and it just went from there. So I think just making the connection and asking, going right to the head, I think that's you have to start. And the more courage you get talking to people, you're going to want to talk to the top dogs because they're the ones that make the decisions.
That's right. And kudos to you for that. Harlequin is correct on that, we're going to be their competitor, right? If we're doing the prescription membership, then their chronic meds they would not be getting those through their local pharmacy anymore. The acute meds, yes, they would be getting those. So it depends on who you're talking to, but I'll tell you a conversation I had with my pharmacy is that they are not on the list to accept the discount card. And I talked to them point blank and I said, "Hey, I'm my company and I have business services and we also do healthcare. And we just started marketing an RX program and I see you guys aren't listed on there." I said, I love doing business with y'all and I love shopping local. I would encourage y'all to become one of the pharmacies that accepts this card because I'm going to be marketing this program in our community. And I don't want people to bypass you guys because you're not one of the listed pharmacies on there. And I had her connect with customer support and they sent them an email. So hopefully the business owner there will say, yes, add us to the list. So, that conversation could go many ways, but kudos to you having the conversation in the first place. I want to read a couple of the chat comments here. Let's see.
Ellen, before you do that, I do want
Yeah,
to
go ahead.
On going to the banks, about half of my fundings have come from bank referrals because it's something that they can't do for most of our clients because of credit, because of time, because of their revenue, all different types of things. So definitely going to banks is a good thing. So I just wanted to make a comment on that, and kudos to you for doing that.
Yeah, here's a comment I was looking for. Taka, he says, "I have a chamber meeting this Thursday morning and he's planning on talking about the DACRX program. But he says, I'm contacting people every day. I noticed I am learning more as I talk more." So guys, again, even if it's somebody that has great insurance and is not spending $20 a month on prescription meds, you're getting experience and learning more. So thank you for sharing that in the chat. Linda says she's talked to 5. Most of my people are on Medicare and Medicaid thus far. But again, that's 5 conversations that you've had, Linda. Great job getting the conversation started and learning what you can say and how to navigate into a little bit deeper conversation with someone. Helen says, "I've spoken with several and one of them has signed up with more to come. Congratulations." 5 conversations for the RX. Just came back from vacation and saw the launch of the RX program. I did 1 post on Facebook and 3 text messages to warm market. Received a, uh-oh, I got a message in the way there. Received a large cohort group and friends, relatives reaching out. One person signed up for the family plan, but I didn't see them in the back office. Yeah, so they're working on doing the instant updates on showing up in the back office. David said he hoped he'd have that live by Friday, but I haven't noticed that it's live either. So we'll hear more on that tomorrow. So I encourage you guys to jump on the Zoom tomorrow, the leadership Zoom at 11:30. I'm ready to wrap up here unless we've got more questions. I wanted to keep this short tonight.
We do.
Anybody
and-
else got questions or comments? You're welcome.
Yeah, Ellen, we do.
Oh,
And I have a
hello.
couple, well, because I had gotten that same question about when do they show up. Right now, when somebody signs up, it looks like they're showing up a day or two after the person had, the next business day. Keep in mind that we've been in a holiday weekend and I don't think they were open on Friday. So, yeah. And then I had a couple of people who had said that they haven't had any luck yet, but they're still working on it, or they had people from out of town in their house. But yeah, there's two people, 586 phone number is the first one with their hand up.
That Passy?
Yeah.
I'm
I'm sorry.
sorry. I'm using a tablet and I can't see the hand signal on it.
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. I want to find out, can we see the QR codes in our back office now? And
No, you have to create a QR code. You're going to have to create a QR code for your web link. There are some free QR code creators. If you go to the Agent Resource Center and go through the marketing material there is a great QR code creator that is free in the free Canva accounts. And if you'll watch the little videos that Tyler does, even though you may not want to use the marketing material that's there right now, I would still encourage you to go through and use the QR code creator in Canva, and you can send it to, you can create it with a link and then create a code that you could put on anything. So that would be a point right now. Harlequin, back on the seeing the points show up or seeing those customers actively showing up at the next business day. That's the way it has been. But David said that we're looking at real-time connections. They were hoping to get that done last Friday, and I'm not seeing that yet. So
Actually,
that should be
I thought he had
next
said
year.
it was going to be sometime this week.
Now he said hopefully by end of day, which was Friday, and I don't see that that's happening yet. So that'll be good. See the real-time activity. Okay. 586 phone number. I'm going to ask you to unmute again.
I think she had already asked her question.
Okay.
Well,
All right.
well,
Phone number 443.
thank you. I have a question relating to the showing up in the office. And along with, and should I be asking accounting this also? Because I am new, just under a month, and I thought about it in reference to that. It shows up in the back office, but then how is one, and I know you have to have X number of points, then how does one receive their commissions?
That gets paid monthly. You'll get paid the following month on the 15th of the month, and you'll
Got
get
that.
paid based on what your personal client number is. So everybody gets at least 20% on your personal customers. So 20% of the $10, which is the residual revenue. So you'll make at least $2 off of each customer. But as your residual revenue increases, then you'll go up that sliding scale and go from 20 to 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, and 50. I've done a training on that. We're going to revisit that again. But I believe I covered that on our last Monday Zoom. I go through how increasing your residual revenue takes you up the levels there.
Well, Ellen, I understood that, but I'm going
Okay.
deeper. It's showing in the back office along
Okay.
with, I understand how that comes about. And the next month, the following month, usually, I think I heard the 15th. Okay, once that happens, since I have not presented any type of banking information, how does one receive it? Is that a hard
Oh.
copy or is
Oh,
that
yeah, no,
direct
you've
deposit?
got to create your Relevate account. You need to go into, log into your back office on the left-hand side under account. You want to sign up for the Relevate pay card. We all get paid through Relevate, so you'll need to set that up.
Uh-huh.
Once you get it set up, they'll mail you a card in
Mhm.
5 to 7 business days. But even if you haven't received that debit card in hand yet, you can still use the account once it's live. And
Oh,
deposits can be made into it once it's live. So
I see.
that's the first step.
All right. Well, I wasn't aware of that. Thank you so very much. So I'm glad I
You bet.
stayed on.
Yeah, well, thanks for clarifying that.
No problem. Thank you.
Awesome, you're welcome. All right, anybody else? Questions, comments, anything else new in the chat there, Harlequin?
No, well, Paul, I think, has unmuted himself a couple of times. I don't know if I know he's on his iPhone. I don't know if he's got a question or something.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry to butt in like that, but I don't have the hand raiser option on my phone.
It's under reactions, not just for you, Paul, but at the bottom of the Zoom screen, there's a little round circle that looks like a smiley face and it says reactions. When you click on that reactions button, then it gives you the raise hand
Okay.
little bar.
Because I haven't really interacted much on Zoom, so thanks for that information.
You bet.
I just want to give you feedback from my end. I'm out in Arizona and it's really cold right now. It's only 65, so I'm dealing with it. So anyway, yeah, what I did is I just start with my warm market and then all the applications I've done throughout the year, whether it be ERC or for funding, what I did, because I saved all those applications, those are the email clickable. So I just click on it and I can send those emails real fast. So that's what I did on those. So I think I sent out, I don't know, around 30 of them. So, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, that's great. That's a great idea. So anybody that's listening, if you have had clients applying for anything that we do, Paul's going back and following up with all of the applicants that have come through for any service. Is that correct, Paul?
Yeah, I always keep my data. I've been in sales 40 years, so I know the value of keeping the data. So in case something launches like this, which is extremely easy to sell, you just go ahead and the data is already stored. So all you do is go into your email, put in Bank Breezy, all your stuff will pop up. So everything from ERC, the payment processing or whatever they've applied for, whether they got approved or not, I have a record. So their email is clickable. You just click on it. So that's just one button. And then I said new RX launch or whatever the verbatim is. And so that'll kind of speed up the program. And then was it Maurice that was asking who's the best prospect or how do we find people? Was that Maurice, Alan?
It was Maurice.
Maurice, because it's a consumer product, just go right to your phone. Anybody that's in your phone is a prospect now. And then if you go right on through your phone list and you say, oh, there's my Uncle Bob. So it makes it a lot easier when people already personally know you. The conversations are 100 times easier because this is for everybody and it's going to, help build our databases, get in with people and then sell them some other larger products. And that's kind of the goal. But yeah, I already sent out, I think around 30 or 40 emails. Those are the people that are, know about DRC or I had conversations with or got approved or regardless of what it is, and that's why I store stuff in my email because you can just hit a button. And so I go Bank Breezy or Biddy or Giggle and those applications will pop up.
You're going back on all the old emails. That's good. Yeah. So a lot of folks on here, unless people have had someone apply and fill out a form on their website for anything, they have no clue what you're talking about. But anytime somebody fills out a form on your website, It asks for their name, their phone number, and their email address, and you receive an email from support at David Allen Capital that says, congratulations, you just had someone apply for funding or a healthcare applicant and all that. So you get the client's name, phone number, and email, whatever they apply for. And that's what Paul is referencing, going back to in his emails, finding those people that have filled out a form on his website before. And in that email, that is a clickable email link where you can just click it. It opens up a new compose window. For those of you that were on, I gave an example of how I use templates in Gmail, and I have a pre-written template. So I can click on that, open up a template, pop it in, and I can have it ready to go off. That was a great comment, Paul.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, sorry to jump ahead, but that was just another way. But as far as like everyone's always trying to create, oh, where do I find these people? It's like most of the people, especially for this product, they're already in your phone somewhere, you know, and just go through your phone list, your contacts. You'd be surprised what you can dig up. Even emails, if you send out emails over time, you can put in the letter A and somebody will pop up. So, you know, everybody's always looking to buy leads and find people. A lot of the times the people that are best prospects are people who we've already done business with us or know, like, or trust us. So hopefully that'll help Maurice a little bit.
Exactly. I see in the chat here, Tisha made a comment, the QR code isn't leading to my personal website. So when you create a QR code, I recommend that you do it through a domain name. And I have a domain training that goes out in my emails where if you buy a domain name, like for example, when we first launched this program, we had davidallencapital.com/healthcare/ our ID number. Well, the domain name has already changed. Now it's dachealthcare.com/ whichever product. But if I forward that to a domain name and I'm using a QR code to a domain name, if I want to change where that QR code points, I can easily do that by changing where the domain redirects to. But if you use your David Allen Capital site to create a QR code, you're going to need to make sure that you do the full website address / your ID number before you create the QR code, and then it will create the code going to the correct website. Always test it once you create a QR code online, then pull out your phone, open up your camera, hold it in front of that QR code and make sure that it's going to the right link before you put it on any material. Okay. All right. Anybody, anything else? I'd love to wrap up. If not, Harlequin.
The only thing that I would say is everybody take 2 seconds right now and set your goal for the week of what you're wanting to accomplish. You know, even once we finish tonight, just go and figure out, okay, how many healthcare plans do I want to have? How many pharmacy plans do I want to have sold by the end of the week? And backtrack it. How many people do you think you're going to need to talk to each day in order to accomplish that goal? And go ahead and have your goals set in front of you. Yeah, I don't know if you guys know this. If you take a marker that you use on a dry erase board, you can actually use that on your mirror. Go ahead and write that on your mirror as your goal for each day, so you have it in front of you. But
Awesome.
anyways, just go out there and get to it, and let's have some fun doing this.
Yeah, the more conversations you have, the more confidence you build. The more confidence you build, the more conversations you're going to continue having, and it's going to lead to you helping somebody. And then you're going to want to have more conversations and go, oh, okay, that wasn't as bad as I thought. And you're going to want to talk to somebody else. And before you know it, you'll be a pro at this, and you'll be helping lots and lots of people save money. We know it is a problem. We know people are spending a fortune out of pocket on prescription drugs. Not everybody. We have the majority of Americans are healthy and aren't on prescription medications. You just got to get through the conversations with the people that are taking prescription meds and that aren't having everything covered 100% by their insurance. Medicare, donut hole. So think of folks that are going to be that in your little niche market off of your phone list there. That was a great tip, Paul. Just think of who it is that, you know, they've got to be taking medications. They're not in great health. How can you help them? They're probably on a fixed income as well. and you can really make an impact for them. So go forth, multiply, and I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow on our 11:30 Zoom, and then again tomorrow night on our team Zoom. Hopefully we'll have some good updates tomorrow. All good?
All good.
All right. Take care, everybody.
Go Team DAC. This is what we do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. All right. Take care, everybody. Have a great night.
Bye.